The Canadian National Exhibition is an amazing anachronism. It's the world's largest annual exposition, but its spirit is that of the small-town fall fair. Time seems to have stood still at the X, as it's called, but it's not, properly speaking, an exercise in nostalgia. You can't experience a pang for the past without first accepting the inevitability of change. And indeed, when it celebrated its 100th birthday in 1978, more than 3 million people took in a bill of fare that was reassuringly similar to the sort of thing that was available when I was a kid, and which, barring a few frills, would have been right to home in any rural North American community at the turn of the century.
When I was a kid, we tended to divide our parents into two camps, those who permitted visits to the X and those who did not. My parents fell into the latter category. I don't believe they felt that the Miss Dairy Princess contest was likely to corrupt the morals of the young, but they did feel that every contagious disease known to man lurked menacingly, if invisibly, in the late summer air. Those were the summers of the great polio epidemics, and it was by no means an unfounded fear. Anyway, I didn't miss it. I've never understood why people want to climb mountains or ski back down them or dive out of airplanes or, race motor cars or test their endurance in these ridiculous contraptions. The whole thing's just a mystery to me.
I was 18 when I was here last, and on that occasion I came to give a piano recital. The final item on my program was the 7th Sonata by Prokofiev, which is to piano literature what Tchaikovsky's 1812 Overture is to orchestral repertoire. Cannon fire isn't obligatory, but suitably updated artillery is certainly implied in the score. And even under normal circumstances, since it looks a lot harder to play than it really is, it's a surefire crowd pleaser. But the circumstances of my recital were not quite normal. It was supposed to end, as I recall, at 6 o'clock, but it didn't. I apparently indulged myself in the slow movement, and it ended instead at 6:02. Now, the X, old-fashioned as it may be, runs like clockwork. A dive-bombing demonstration was scheduled for 6:01. And the last moments of that performance would have warmed the cockles of P.T. Barnum's heart. Well, there's another of those mysteries I talked about a moment ago. I've never understood the let's climb Everest just because it's there philosophy. It makes no sense to me to do things that are difficult just to show that they can be done. I gave up air travel years ago, along with concerts and other recklessly acrobatic endeavors over which one cannot have total control. But for years thereafter, I had a recurring dream which offered many variations, but always on the same theme. It always took place aboard a DC-3 on which I was a passenger, and at some point the stewardess would come rushing back to my seat and say, Mr. Gould, the pilot has just collapsed, sir. Would you take the controls, please? But Miss Shirley, there's a co-pilot. Well, yes, there is, but he's not been a well man for many years, sir. Yes, but you see, I don't know how to fly. Sir, with your innate sense of rhythm, we're confident that you can bring us out of this horrendous dive and save us all. Well, you know, you can't say no to a stewardess in a dream, so of course I'd make my way forward to the flight deck, take the controls, and execute a perfect 3-point landing, naturally to the applause of the surviving passengers. I'm very much the anti-hero in real life, you see, but I compensate like mad in my dreams.